We're live and not quiet. Right?
I don't think we're quiet anymore.
We're in.
Are we still?
I just got a notification that we are.
We are indeed live and not quiet. Hey guys, welcome.
Are we still on
37?
38.
Are we still on
36.
39.
38.
Episode 39.
I still
38.
think it's like episode 362.
I think, hey, someday we'll be there and we'll look back on this moment.
Depends on how many episode
forecasted
37s we had.
Do you think the world will end before we get to...
Episode 362? Well, that's 362
I
weeks.
certainly hope
Will we
not.
be alive?
Yes! That's 362 weeks.
Jake, are you
It's like
serious?
6 years.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Still might not
Hey,
be around.
That's
You might not
valid.
be alive
If
because I'll
someone-
kill
7
you.
years.
If someone
That's
else
fair.
came along and assassinated us just to take over the podcast.
Listen, we're not that famous. We wouldn't be saying
We're pretty
We'd be
famous.
murdered.
I mean, we've been seen by tens
I'm
of
not
people.
sure. I'm not sure what
worldwide.
the. I'm not
Worldwide.
sure.
I don't know,
I
man.
I would say countywide.
If the Clintons are listening to you guys' phones, man, you might.
Well, they don't do the actual...
Clinton's
listening.
not in political power anymore.
Well,
Yeah, that
okay. Hey,
doesn't
guys,
matter.
welcome
But we
to
haven't
episode
said anything about them,
38
so it's okay.
of Continuous Outrage.
Continuous tangent.
Trace Ocho.
Trace. Oh, that's
That's
not
not-
how you
that's
say.
not-
That's
No.
three. You literally said three.
I'm an idiot.
I
I
did.
typed in unlimited outrage.
So these guys
Unlimited
are
outrage.
these guys are playing HQ instead of
I'm
giving their full
not. I'm
undivided
trying
attention.
to
No one
find
is
the
playing.
stupid
No one's
podcast.
playing.
We're literally still watching the countdown.
Yeah, episode 38. Here we go.
That's what most of that game is. So
just
HQ is a
watching.
total waste of time.
Nah, man, it makes you money.
Tony, how you doing,
If you're
sir?
good at it.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Even if you're good at it, you don't make that much money.
Yes, the guy made
Come out
40
with like
cents.
$5
there.
a
Brad just
month
does
or
his own
something.
thing.
What?
Brad's literally a wild card. We're
Yeah.
like, Tony, how you
He's
doing? And
literally-
you're like, you just start screaming about something else.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
man. Well, we're having a conversation. Why don't you join us?
Wow.
I'm upset.
I can't live this way.
Okay, so let's get right into what's popping. Jakey, what's popping, bro?
What is popping? A locking.
I was going to say locking. Yes.
I don't know why we continue to subject you people to this
I
show.
didn't know we
week
were
after
doing what.
week.
I didn't
Hey,
know we
they're
were.
doing it to themselves.
I didn't know we were doing what's popping anymore.
I threw a curveball at you, bro.
We're doing something
What is
popping.
what is
Come on,
popping?
tell us about the corn,
Don't
Jake.
Google it.
Tell us
Okay,
about
no,
the
no, no,
corn.
I got what popping. Apex Legends.
Apex
That is
Legends.
poppin'.
Hottest new game.
I do got to try
Hottest new game out right now.
that. Dude, you totally talked me into it
I'm
yesterday.
a true.
I got to play it.
I'm a true Fortnite fan, so like it's gonna be hard for me to make that.
You
switch.
No, nope, I was
Wow.
too, and I made the switch in an instant.
Don't say we are not the same when it comes to Fortnite, man. Like I dream about Fortnite.
You've literally never played for it.
I
He
played
played
it
it
one
one
time,
time,
and I won.
and he did not win.
I won it.
1-0.
You ever played Fortnite, Tony?
I have not.
It's hot garbage. It's not. I don't understand the
garbage.
appeal of it really, other than it's free.
Yeah.
That's not.
Apparently,
It's really good.
Yeah,
Let Tony talk.
Apparently, it's taken a lot of the young people out of the better games. So
Yes.
I have heard that.
It has become the online babysitter
Yep.
to where now you can play online games and you
There
don't
was,
have to have the screeching 12-year-old's voice.
Did
in
you
your
see
ear.
the meme? It was like,
kind of nice?
who owns SpaceX? What the hell is that guy's name?
What you talking about?
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Elon Musk. It was like Elon Musk bought Fortnite and he's deleting it. And he's like, there was like a quote from him. He's like, I have to save these kids from their virginity. It's so funny.
I think I saw that.
yeah, I know it's funny.
that's an old one.
Speaking of which, the other day I was playing a game of Sigmar, which I lost by 1
What's a
point.
Sigmar?
It's a god.
Okay.
What is a Sigmar?
You're gonna meet God if you say that one more time because you will die. Don't say it. Don't.
Just for that, I'm not changing my vote. We're going to Frickers tonight.
Unbelievable.
No.
On air.
What was I saying? Anyway, so Jason Shisheli took a picture of me playing Sigmar, and somebody commented on it like, "This guy's never gonna lose his virginity." It was like something along the lines of
You
like,
literally have a son on the way.
it was
What
just,
a miracle.
It was just funny.
What a miracle.
What a miracle.
Oh, God.
So anyway, okay, so yeah, I guess that's what's popping for me is I lost Sigmar, so I've lost horribly.
What about what's the other thing that you've been doing all day today?
What have I been doing? What do you mean?
What you've been looking at all day today? We brought it up in like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I can't
What's
say
your
that
new,
on the
what's
air,
your new
guys.
40K army, Tim?
I should have brought the Codex out here. This is the
Or
time
did,
to
you
time
you,
to-
you mispronounced scumbag
scumbag
for the army he picked.
So
Wow.
listen, a couple weeks ago, these guys are pressuring me to get outside of my comfort zone and get a new 40K army, right?
So he
And
picks the most comfortable army he
I
could.
picked something based solely on aesthetics.
That's good.
Solely on
That's not what
tournament
you
results.
told me.
Oh, my.
You told me don't get excited about you picking a new army because you're going to pick like the next top tier
Solely
one.
on power
That's
level
not-
alone.
That is totally. He said
Totally
that.
not true.
That you said
I
that.
may have said that, but that's not the truth. Okay, so I picked Eldari, Astriani. Which one is it? I don't even know.
Eldari.
What's Astriani? Is that all Eldar?
I believe so.
I think so.
'Cause
I'm not sure.
I think it is. I think all Asuryani is all Eldar. So anyway, clearly I'm not a lore expert. I saw a white Wraith Knight, and I was sold. And Tony's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
No, I think I've seen
Just
this.
wait. You're gonna play with
Hey,
him, Tony.
he's got a
It's gonna be
computer
your-
there. He can Google it while we're talking
I
about
can.
I can't.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes I do.
No, so
But-
I
yeah.
I literally I don't know what I was looking up. I think I was looking up Dark Eldar.
He was looking up the LVO results, which if you notice the top table was Imperial Guard versus Eldari. So coincidence? I think not.
I think
I'm
not.
tired of having my.
He even shared it.
character challenge.
He even shared it on our Warhammer page. Check out this awesome battle between my two
It was-
armies.
to be fair, the top table was Yannari. Okay, that I'm not planning on playing Yannari right away.
Right away.
Well, I mean, like,
You
have
need
you ever
what?
seen my collection? Like, I tend to collect.
To play Yannari, you need what, like one model?
Well, you need the triumvirate, and then you bring one of
You
them.
you
and
need
it
one
makes
model.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know, Yannari. I have a really cool idea of like painting my Eldar white, and then painting my Dark Eldar some kind of dark color, and then any Yannari units, painting them. Jake, I don't understand why that's funny. I don't get it. Like I was thinking, like Cabalite green, like is a darker shade. It's a fantastic color. Incubi darkness is fantastic. Anyway, the Yannari stuff I would paint purple because I
Right.
just thought it sounded cool.
wait,
Thought it would
Dakota,
look cool.
did you say you looked at the top table result? Was the top table result Dark Eldar, Eldar, and Yannari?
Wait, was there Dark Eldar in that?
Yeah,
list?
there were
was
Dark Eldar flyers.
there was, yes. Were they all Dark Eldar flyers?
No,
No,
there were
there was-
Like Crimson Hunters?
no,
Yeah, I think there was
there
the-
were some Crimson Hunters and
Hemlocks.
Hemlock.
Yeah.
The guy had 7 flyers, total
Yeah,
cheese, and he
yeah.
lost, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
The stream was blowing him up because he kept he would move a flyer and then come back to it and fudge with it. You know what I mean? And they're like, stop moving the models again. And he's
Don't
like,
they have like vectored engines or whatever, and they can move after
No, but,
they-
like, he
can-
would,
they
like-
can, they can
He would
pivot,
rotate,
move,
yeah.
and then pivot
Right, but
again.
he was pivoting him 9 times and come back to another one and then come back. And then at the end of the phase, he forgot to move one of his flyers. And nobody caught it. People on the stream caught it, but the judges didn't catch it. Like the opponent didn't catch it. I mean, hell, you got 7 of them. So
Doesn't it die?
what's
It
that?
doesn't move.
I mean, rules
Yeah.
is just supposed to
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, it blows up.
Yeah, but
If it
there's no
can't
rule
move,
that says
yeah.
no, if it can't move, but it totally could, and it should have.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it was omission. And it wasn't. There was no benefit to it not
Yeah.
moving.
So then, I guess speaking of
But
the
he
LVO,
lost.
no, yeah, he did. I mean, I
It was
didn't,
a great game.
I didn't get to see it, but I've heard everyone say it was really good. The player Brandon Grant that ended up winning the guard player, he had a Castellan, which I'm not surprised about at all. Like I honestly thought that the Eldar Dark Eldar combo would end up winning at the end. That was
So
my
did I. When
prediction.
I saw the list, I
from
was like,
last
"There's
week.
no way this guy can win."
Yeah, but he did, and it was all objective based. But the guard player, it was totally like a not cheese list, like you pointed out before. He
No, it was non-cheese.
Hit wyverns, 1 unit of mortars.
1 unit or more.
Yeah.
You didn't have mortars and infantry squads.
Yeah, he really did it to fill the brigade.
Yeah.
I do want to say real quick that last week's live stream, we pondered on who would win the LVL.
yeah,
I did call it with a Knight Guard list combo.
yeah.
I ju-
That's fair.
Just want to point it out.
I knew it would be up there. And in fact, in the top 8, there were 3 of them.
What was
There
announced?
were 3 Knight.
There were-
There were 3 Castellan guard lists in the top 8.
There were 3 in the top. I think the one I saw was the top 4, maybe, and I think it was maybe the same 3 we're talking about.
have you seen the top 8? It's number 1 was that. Number 2 was the Yannari.
Yeah.
Number 3 was another guard Castellan.
yeah.
But they also had the Rusty 17. The little ad.
And number 4 was, from what I saw, I thought number 4 was another guard.
They actually had
Custodes list.
They actually, along with the AdMech stuff, they also brought 6 dragoons.
Yeah, I saw that.
The neg 1 to hit one.
in the gameplay,
It's the new narrative.
like for 40K.
Yeah, it's
I
another
don't know why
campaign.
it went out, but it's back.
We're good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry
I just
about the
reset the
brief
interface.
audio lapse there,
Hopefully it
guys.
was brief.
I'm sorry. What were we talking about? The detachments.
So-
You would ask me a question. I think it might have even been on stream last week.
Joel just mentioned
like
this.
about like why did Gene Stealer Cult get their detachments before their codex came out?
Holy crap!
And I actually have an answer for that. The answer is for the guard stuff, the Brood Brothers that you ally in, they can. It specifically says in the codex that they cannot be specialist detachments.
Really?
So yeah,
So there's no Emperor's Wrath Artillery Company going with
the
Stealer
Gene
Cult.
Stealer Cult book.
Interesting.
I can live with
okay.
that.
So I think that they slid those in for them because they didn't want there to be like conflict.
Yeah.
Like people reading through this book and be like, "Oh, what does specialist detachment mean?" and then not find that out for like another month.
Oh yeah, so it would have leaked the things to come in Vigilus.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Also,
that makes sense.
If you read, there's a passage in one of the some like the model showcasing sections where it talks about like the models shown below are from a Gene Stealer Cult's start collecting set that doesn't exist yet.
Oh,
You know what's nice
So
about
that's going to be coming very soon.
that'll
I
be
think.
cool. They're one of the armies that need a start collecting
Yes,
box.
they
You
do.
need a lot of models for them, and that start collectings are usually pretty easy on the dollar.
I think
at
it's
least for
going to
what
be.
you get.
I think it's going to be a set of Neophytes, a Goliath truck, and an.
You know
Acolyte
what I
icon
hope it is? You know what I hope it is? I hope it's a set of your Brood Brother infantry squads, a Lehman Russ, and whatever your commissar is.
That's fine. Did you see the somebody made a picture? It was like start collecting Gene Stealer Cult,
And it was a single Gene Stealer.
yeah, and it's like one miniature. It's so funny. What were you gonna say, Jake?
one thing I was gonna say, what's good about Gene Stealer Cult coming out, Codex and everything, is that maybe I won't ever have to play against 5 robots again.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I wouldn't count on it.
No,
I
So-
am in love with this book.
Yeah.
I love this. This is.
You love it more
until
than
you
those robots?
don't. And
I think it will be a lot more fun to play than those robots.
do you hate playing with
I
robots
think-
because you hate tabling opponents in turn 2?
I can't
can't
say that I
he hates it.
hate.
I
that
think
feeling.
that book is a hard counter to robots.
I don't.
I feel like it can be.
Yeah.
It can be. However, just like any other deep striking army, bubble wrap.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
just bubble wrap.
That's
so
true.
that actually one of the two of the armies that scare me more than anything are Guard and Tau.
I'm never
Yes.
not bringing.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm never not bringing sub 100 models to a game against you ever again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be at least 100 bodies in the
Hey,
field.
we had a
Good
bullet
luck
for
with
every
that.
model.
The LVO
Good
was
luck
about
with that
80.
death card codex, man.
Now,
100
would-
models.
100. Yeah, you literally can't fit 100 models with the Death Guard Codex for 2,000
Yes, you
points.
can. You can bring Plague Bearers.
Cultists.
Cultists. You can't. They don't have the Death Guard.
We've
Keyword.
been listen for 6 weeks. We've talked about just bring a separate detachment.
But yeah, Tau and Guard, they scare me. Tau is just going to overwatch me to death, and
Yeah.
I'm not hard to kill. And Guard is going to have more chaff than I can cut through before I can get to the important stuff.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, as a Tau player, I would like to play against him, but some of the stuff I've seen in the Gene Stealer Cult book doesn't really frighten me a whole lot. At least as a Tau player.
Well,
Is
They
Tau the
have,
best single book though? Best mono codex?
I mean,
Maybe.
it might be. Brad, I don't know if you know, but there was a Tau player in the top 8.
Do you know
Was
what his
there?
list had?
I don't know. What his
I
list
don't
was.
remember. I never saw him, but I think Guard might be the single best.
Like mono codex.
Yeah, mono codex.
Guard have never won anything on their own.
They
I don't think
they
that's
just
true.
they
I
just
don't
placed
think-
on.
I don't think mono guards ever won.
They
anything.
just placed
they
top
have.
in
probably
this,
did when the
in the
codex came
LVO
out.
with one Castellan that he didn't even get to use. I mean, that says something.
Yeah, I think.
I
They're
mean,
good,
he
they
used-
shot at the Castellan like that. Don't undervalue that.
Sure.
And it was still a toughness 8 model with a 3-up invuln.
Yeah, like
No, that's
there's
fair.
no
So-
equivalent.
That's
in
fair.
the guard book.
I still think Guard's better mono codex.
They probably won a whole bunch right when the Codex came out.
I don't think alone. No, it was. Remember at the beginning it was all soup. So like you had at the very beginning
I'm
you
not
had
sure.
you
always
had
been soup.
Celestine at the very least because she was giving all the guardsmen an invuln.
She was giving 2-up invuln saves to Bulgrins.
Was she really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
They've since fixed that.
Oh
but-
yeah, I imagine.
Soup is still an issue. I would very much like to see. I'm glad they're going to do that big community survey again pretty soon. I don't know exactly what the format's going to be, but we all really need to like spam them with kill soup responses. Like,
Oh, it's
just
not. They're not gonna. Even
kill
if that
soup.
happens, it's
Actually,
not
you
gonna
know,
happen.
while
They're not
we're on the topic of Bolgrins, there is a nifty little oversight in this book.
you can bring
You can
Bolgrins.
bring
Well,
Bolgrins.
yeah. Well, if you have a Brood Brother detachment, so you can bring the guard stuff, right? However, the rules state that anywhere that appears the keyword Astra Militarum, it is replaced with Brood Brother
Brothers, yeah,
in every instance.
except for Bolgrin.
So, well, no. Even then,
But they
their
don't
Astra
have-
Militarum is just switched out for Brood Brothers.
Yeah, but
and
they
then when
don't-
you go over to officers, they instead of issuing orders to Astra Militarum, they issue to Brood Brothers.
So your Bolgrin are better than my Bolgrin.
So I can issue orders to Bolgrin.
That's upsetting.
in this book because they're not because they also lose regiment, which is what you issue orders to.
Don't.
But-
and
uh,
Bolgrin never had regiment.
I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I wouldn't sleep on it too much. They
They're
or I
probably
would
gonna-
sleep on it. They're gonna FAQ.
They're
that,
probably going to
fix
FAQ
that.
and
I
it'll
bet.
go away.
Yeah,
but
I could
but
see
for
them
now,
overlooking that.
For now, it's just kind of a funny little thing that right now you can do.
At the very least, it'll get FAQ'd the moment they see the first chance they get after it's ran in a tournament.
Probably,
Of any, you
yeah.
know.
It'll get looked at.
It'll go away. It'll go away.
Mental onslaught is the other thing that I personally think is going to get changed.
Yeah, that'll get changed.
The,
Is that
the,
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 one
the
shot a
psychic
night?
the psychic power allows you to basically target something and you roll off leaderships
Yeah.
plus a d6. And there's so many ways to get +1 leadership. You can get a patriarch up to leadership 14
yeah.
with specialist attachments.
Which means
and
you
all
auto
this other
kill
stuff.
anything leadership 8 or even you come close to 9 at least, right?
Yeah.
Because you still add 1 to yours and and they could still add 1 to theirs, so
Yeah.
that would be
There's-
that would
there's-
be equal, right? If you're at 14 and they're at 9.
That's a difference of 5.
No, okay, yeah, that is a difference of 5. You're right.
But even then, like, because you actually have to exceed the leadership, which I was mistaken on. I thought you had to be
can't match it?
even
Okay.
or higher.
Okay, so
you have to be higher for them to take a wound. But then you
Okay.
roll again, and then you keep going until they
die,
beat
which
you
is-
or it
which
dies.
is- yeah,
So there
which
is a
just
way where you
silly.
can totally one shot a night.
So with this codex out, we now have 1 remaining.
The sisters.
Okay, we got
You mean?
2, but we know sisters are coming. So Yunari and sisters, right? Those are
Yeah.
the last 2 core.
Honestly, does Yunari need a book?
I don't think they'll
I-
get a book.
They're going to get a book.
You really think so?
They'll get a book because it'll sell. But like, I honestly, they don't need one.
But they have.
They need to be balanced. Like
Don't
the
they
fact
have-
that they're indexed and are making top tables all over the place is a problem.
Yeah.
Well,
I won't argue with that at all.
It's just because they supplement Eldar, though. That's why. I mean, that's
I
why
mean,
they hit
it's
index.
because, it's
They
because
They weren't-
they're not solely indexed anymore. They
Well-
are. They have 3 different books to pull from.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and they are those 3 different books. That's why I don't think they'll get a book because take chapter proof 2017 for instance, when they came out with rules and stratagem. They came out with like 1 or 2 stratagems, 1 or 2 psychic powers, 1 or
didn't
2
give one to
relics.
Yunari.
Actually, you know
they
what?
didn't give anything to Yunari.
You know what? They might get the Fall of Cadia treatment. So we'll like in something like Vigilus.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, they'll
Exactly.
come out. And
I
be
think
like,
they're getting a
hey,
full-fledged codex.
here's a few Yunari specific stratagems.
Yeah.
Here's some Warlord traits, relics, blah blah blah. Here's
Yeah.
this. Well, I mean, like
I don't see them. I don't see them getting
If you did
codex.
Codex Yunari, you would have to print 3 codexes worth of data slates
Well, no,
into it.
not necessarily.
Why not? They're all Yunari
Yeah,
models.
there's no
Everything-
reason. There would be no reason
Well,
to print.
you guys are
Yunari.
overlooking, like, first of all, stratagems, like full fleshed out stratagems, psychic powers, warlord traits, all that stuff.
But
and then,
but can't they still just use all the same like
Yeah.
Harlequin stratagems out of their book? Can't they do that? Or
well,
all the
and
Dark
I think that's
Eldar
one of the
ones?
things that needs to change. Like, you need to lose your craft world or your cult or whatever when you're Yunari. You
I
need
think
to
they
be
do.
Yunari.
I think they do, don't they? Because you
I don't
can't
know.
you can't have a Laytok Yunari.
You can't have like
They lose battle focus.
okay.
and
You're
stuff like that.
technically a Laytok, but you don't gain the Laytok
Neg 1 bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I don't see them like you said. I don't see them getting a codex. I see them just getting some love in a
I don't
campaign.
understand why they wouldn't get a codex.
because they don't have any specific models.
Well, no,
Why
they would just
why
Well, they
wouldn't
have
crea-
3,
Why wouldn't
excuse
they
me.
create models for them?
I mean, they very
Like,
they
who's
very
to
well
say,
might.
like, that they created them in this. I don't know. They're going to get.
but
a codex.
they use all the same models as the other codexes though. So there would be no real. They would just have Yunari Guardians or whatever. That would just be. Yeah, but they have specific models, Tim.
So why wouldn't they make specific models for Yunari? I just don't understand. Like, why they
What-
wouldn't try to sell more models.
What would they make?
I don't know. I'm not the head of GW.
But yeah, I don't think.
So you
there's
think they'll
anything they
pass
can
on?
make.
They're like, no, we don't want to sell any.
Well, I think they'll. I think they'll put that stuff.
The only
Sure,
reason,
they
the only
might
reason
something.
I would be hesitant because they seem to take really long time on making those kinds of things.
They take years to produce a model from
Okay,
beginning.
so they might do it, but we might
to
not
the
see it
shelf.
for 3 years.
How do we know they haven't been working on it for 6 years?
That's true. It could be any time between announced tomorrow.
I'm telling you, they're
till
going to get a Codex.
10 years from now.
I would bet money that they're going to have a Codex.
Okay, I mean, sure,
It's like
sure they
impossible.
might.
It's impossible to tell when those would come out, though.
I just have absolutely no idea what the codex would look like. Are they literally just going to
would-
reprint
It would look like something like
literally
The
dozens
top of it
of
would
data
say.
slates?
Well, no, I
the
don't
top
know. I
of it
don't
would
know
say
that.
Warhammer 40K. There'd be a
Shut
picture of
up.
a Yanari model. It would say Codex Yanari.
That's the problem, though, Jake.
And then
There
when-
aren't any Yanari
and then
models.
they
Yeah.
make some.
There are three
They
of
make
them,
some.
actually.
Yeah, the three
You
HQs.
flip it
excuse
open
me.
to this black sheet of paper.
The troll needs to end.
I've never been this triggered in my life.
But like
The point of the whole thing was, okay, we're done with codexes.
yeah.
Save Yanari and Sisters of Battle. Mm-hmm. Which I still cannot understand why Sisters of Battle are so popular. I don't understand it at all.
They have some really cool rules. I've thought about picking up some stuff.
I don't really know either.
Their models are trash. I
mean,
Their
okay,
current models
the
are trash,
The
yeah.
old,
they're
the
going to be
old
great.
models.
They're going to be great models.
The
I'm
old
sure.
models are trash. Celestine is beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
more things are going to come out, and it's going to look like Celestine, and it's all going to be beautiful.
Yeah. No,
However, like the idea of like the pennant engines, stupid. Really, really stupid. We don't need more baby walkers.
yeah.
like
they could make
baby
them.
carriers.
They could remake them and make them look cooler though.
No, sure,
You
they
could get
could.
something that looks sort of like a
Their whole range needs
A
redone.
Nemesis.
I think they are.
And the entirety of the range is being redone.
Dread Knight.
we also
but,
need Imperial agents, don't we? There needs to be some kind of
I agree. There needs to be some kind
combination of all the Imperial outliers.
Well, isn't it coming in March? We're supposed to get a
Assassin's Codex,
index,
whatever.
Yeah,
Imperial's
in White
trash.
Dwarf. Yep.
Maybe GW will send me that
Death
one.
to the
You know,
Emperor.
last time there was 40k rules in a White Dwarf. They're like, we'll just skip your shipment, bro. If you're watching GW, I'm pissed about it still.
You just made some
I
CEO
guarantee
very
they're not
upset.
watching.
I don't
it.
care.
They're not watching.
Ship them to me. Like, I'm on auto ship. Somebody dropped the ball. You dropped the ball.
Who are you pointing at?
Tony.
Whoever's watching from GW.
Tony, you pointing at Tony? Tony, you dropped the ball.
Tony didn't drop the ball. Tony's the man.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Okay, so anyway,
Shaggy.
all that BS about Yanari, what's coming next? And I mean, we have a Vigilus campaign book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have Vigilus 2. We already know that.
And I believe Vigilus is only a 2-part series.
I would hope so. I mean, how long can you string this out?
Well,
Well, we're going to
hopefully-
continue to fight.
Hopefully, and I mean this with a whole
If you
heart.
say 1,000 Suns,
I was going to say
swear
chaos
to God.
stuff.
I
was
think
gonna
we'll get a
say
new Chaos
I think we need
and
some.
Space Marine
I think
book.
we need some more chaos stuff.
How long till we
because-
get a Chaos
well,
Primaris?
Well, if you think about
I mean,
it,
that's another thing too.
Hopefully never.
well, I don't foresee that coming anytime soon. They're just going to keep model creeping to match the Primaris
I'm
stuff.
okay
Maybe.
with that.
But the thing is that they're with because
new
part
Chaos
of
Marines
the
look sweet.
yeah, exactly, the chaos stuff that they leaked for Shadow Spear. Those Black Legionnaires looked amazing.
Yeah, they look
They
cool.
look great.
Yeah, they look
And
cool.
so you know that they're going to come out with a kit.
Are they?
It's going to
Yeah, a
come.
new
Now, are
Chaos
they
Marine
just
kit.
Are they just a new Chaos Space Marine kit, or are they like a new
Black-
unit?
And they look like just
Okay.
it's Chaos Space Marines.
Okay, good.
So you can probably paint them up whatever legion you want
Yeah.
and call it good. And honestly, that would be the smart thing to do.
No,
I've
you're
been
right.
literally been saying since I've gotten into this hobby.
No, you're right.
Whenever I look at Chaos Space Marines, I'm like, wow, those look like trash.
Yeah, they need to
even
do- yeah.
compared to like a tactical squad, they're not on the same level
No.
of design.
Well, it's a
No.
really old kit.
yeah,
too.
like that needs to change, especially for how enormous and popular the Chaos range is.
No, they're cool. I think I want to say Chaos might actually be one of my more favorite ranges, at least on the scale of models I like versus models I don't like. You know,
I think I would disagree with that. There's a lot of Chaos models I really don't
Really?
like.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of bad ones.
The,
Mutilators, Obliterators are bad. The new Obliterators look really
new
nice.
Well, Obliterators look
and see,
great.
there you go though. Like all the fine cast stuff, sure, but I can almost chuck all the fine cast stuff out the window simply
Yeah, but, like,
because there
there's a
are
lot of
hardly
other
any
fine cast.
fine cast models that I don't like anyway.
Defilers
So-
look dumb.
I don't think Defilers.
You don't
are
like
good.
Defilers?
They've got that box
Defilers
and
make
then
me.
that tiny head.
Defilers.
What is that?
That's
Defilers
fair.
remind me of the Wild Wild
I don't.
West.
I don't hate.
Yep. Will Smith
Yeah.
movie.
I don't hate. Defilers,
I always
though.
think it's
I
these
think all
big
the
spiders
demon engines look
walking
pretty cool.
around.
Forge Fiends look cool. Mauler Fiends
Forge
look
Fiends
cool.
and Mauler Fiends are cool.
Hellbrutes look just fine.
I don't like the Hellbrute at all.
Hellbrutes need a mono or need something other
You know
than
what
a
Hellbrutes
monopose
need?
kit.
To be dreadnoughts,
They-
they'd be way cooler.
yeah,
if
they
were
They have
dreadnoughts.
something. over the
Hellbrutes
Monopost kit.
need.
They have like an actual
if,
kit. You're just thinking of what comes
Dark
in Dark
Vengeance.
Vengeance from a long time ago.
Okay, I guess to be fair, that's literally the only
Yeah,
model
yeah.
of
They,
them I've ever seen.
they have. They're not snap fit like you've drive by the normal.
I don't like the.
Oh, check it out,
Hellbrute.
check it out. Death
like
Guard
the-
Hellbrutes though need to have disgustingly resilient.
And that's
They
not what we're
should.
talking
They
about,
a-
man.
I would
No,
agree.
he's
They
right
should.
though.
They should.
absolutely
I would agree.
should. They absolutely should.
Give it a 10-point price. I don't know how much disgusting resilient costs in points, but they need to have it.
I mean,
Right.
it has the rule where it can advance and shoot assault weapons without penalty,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Why
so
doesn't it have disgustingly resilient?
It's
Same
so
reasons
annoying.
mine aren't psychers.
It's so annoying to have
Well,
models.
yeah. Why would they? Why would his dreadnoughts have disgustingly resilient?
Hey,
Why,
Outside-
why wouldn't yours be psychers?
why
Well,
why do my
but 'cause
Ultramarine
they're all the
dreadnoughts
same.
get their stuff? I don't know.
That's my point. Is they keep all that stuff the same.
Also, why do Gene
I'm not saying it's
vehicles not
good.
get creeds?
You don't have to be the same. Like,
Not get what?
They don't get
like
creeds.
it would make sense
Oh, I thought
that
you
if
were talking
Nurgle
about
like corrupted
creed.
a.
No. I don't disagree that it would make sense, but
Oh.
it's,
I was
it's,
like- I was
they
like,
just
you
want to keep all
don't
that stuff. the
deserve
They
same.
don't need to make
creed.
individual
It's-
models.
that
It's the same reason your chaos cultists don't have disgustingly resilient.
They don't need
And-
to.
Well, they don't have a reason to. They're mortal.
Yeah, like they don't need to make individual models for Hellbrutes for per.
Sword, Plague Marines. So
No,
technically.
but they're obviously like
Not
People?
immortal.
tainted.
Sure.
Whereas cultists are just
could very well be tainted.
they're just dudes.
They're just
They're
dudes.
psycho chaos dudes.
That's just because of the
I give
horrible
cultists a
chaos
pass
cultist
because I think they're
range,
just.
but
I agree. They're just dudes doing stuff.
Yeah.
they're not just dudes though.
There's sickly dudes because they like
Oh.
Nurgle.
Nobody likes Nurgle. I don't
the,
understand it.
the point is that's why they don't. I'm not necessarily agreeing with the fact that they don't, because you could have made Cultist last edition T4 with Mark of Nurgle. You could do I think that's
You-
what Mark
you
of Nurgle
can do
did.
that?
I think you could do it last edition. You
Yeah.
can't do it
Well,
now.
You
T4
gotta-
was good last
You
edition.
got a T6 bikes.
Okay,
last
so check it
edition.
out. So I understand that, but
Yeah,
like
it was that.
when you're gonna put models into my chapter tactics and not be like, I don't know, flavorful, like it just it's bothering.
Yeah.
I have
Now,
help-
now you see literally my entire problem with the Thousand Suns Codex. Thank you.
I can only bring 3 Hellbrutes because the
I'm-
rule of 3, and they all die turn 1/2.
Rule 3's trash. Rule
I'm
3's
outnumbered.
trash.
I'm outnumbered by models that are in the Sigmar range.
If I could bring
by
6
models
Hellbrutes,
that are in my
I'd
Thousand
be.
Suns range.
If I could
I
bring
can-
6 Hellbrutes, I might bring them.
I can guarantee you that Rule of 3 is here to stay.
Oh, it absolutely.
probably.
is.
It's
absolutely is.
built into the Tau Codex. It's built into this codex.
But look at what it did. Look
With,
at
the
LVO.
commander.
Look at LVO. What did it do to stop spam at the LVO?
Nothing. There were 7 flyers on the top table.
So is it a rule of 3 issue? That's my problem
Well,
with that's always been my problem with an arbitrary number.
It's a detachment issue.
It's a force organization issue.
Yeah.
That's the
So-
core. It's a force organization
so we
issue,
say you
which
can
they're
only
not
bring
going to fix
3.
this edition. So they want their multiple detachments. They want you to be able to bring whatever you want because it's what sells the most.
I think it
models.
all roots from stratagems. I think the need for
I
command
don't think
points,
that's it.
the need for command points for these stratagems means you have to build these multiple detachments. And I think that's why they can't touch them, because stratagems are key to the game, and I
Yeah,
would
but
love to see them go away. I
Yeah,
hate
but
'em.
you could do that. You could do that in a huge number of ways and still do force organization in a right way.
Well, they would have to redo all of the Force Org right now because it's all in
that's-
the core rule book.
Yeah, that's what they would need to do.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do it. That's my point. It's a whole force organization issue, not necessarily a stratagem or a command point issue. Those are really just kind of symptoms of what we have.
What do you guys think about Orcs not making top 8? Because Orcs are doing very well meta-wise.
Honestly, I felt like I was a little surprised. I thought that Orcs would be like a real contender, which they didn't do poorly.
No, they
if
just
if
didn't-
you look them up, they just
They were in the top 12, I think.
Yeah,
Just
they
not the
just-
top 8.
yeah.
Or wait,
How
no.
much diversity did we have in the top 8? Like how many
okay.
different
So, top
codexes?
8,
I guess
top
I'll
8.
say.
There was 3 Knight Guard Castellan,
Okay.
or 3 Guard Castellan lists, 2 Eldar, 1 was Yanari.
I two Eldar. That's fine.
Yeah, 1 Chaos,
Okay.
One
a
Tau.
Tau, and what am I missing? Was it a 3rd Eldar? Yeah, because there were
So you had
there were 3 Eldar, 3 Castellan Guard, and a Tau and a Chaos.
So you didn't have very much diversity in the top.
No.
Okay, so 5. What was it? 5 players were Eldar, and then the bottom 3 were Tau.
Did you say 5
Oh
players?
well, no, it was
3 Eldar.
It was so it was 6. So
There was 3
It was
Eldar, 3 guard.
3 Eldar, 3
3
Guard.
guard. Yes, there were 6 players who were just Eldar and
that
guard.
wasn't right in a
Yeah.
row. Like the
No, okay, that's fine.
I think third or fourth was the Chaos player. The sixth
No, he
was
didn't
Tau.
make the top 4.
No,
Chaos didn't make top 4.
That's fine. But
Then
that's
they were fifth.
My point
Yeah.
was
They were-
there wasn't very much diversity. You had 6 players playing the same 2 factions.
Right, but okay,
Yeah, there's a
you're
difference
also
between
looking
fifth
at the
and
top 8 out of
I think there's a
600.
difference between 5th and 8th.
What was there,
Not much.
660 players?
Yeah.
So you're looking at the top 8 of 660. What was the top 12 or 24 like?
I don't know. 68 players brought a
Typi-
Castellan.
Typically, when
That's
I
too many.
So
68 out of
That's
60. I don't know. 68
That's
out
10%, right?
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
those are. I
probably
think.
okay.
I think
I,
those.
mean, I don't see that as being
those
an
brackets
issue.
are more important. Like when I go to when I look at Magic tournaments, I don't always just look at the top 8.
Right.
Yeah,
I look
sure.
at whoever made day 2 and the
Especially
percentages.
when there's this much luck involved.
Yeah.
Right.
So I look at the percentages of decks that made day 2, and like if there was an insanely high amount of certain decks that made day 2 and did well, and then I break it down to like top 24, and so top 8's. It not being diverse is crappy, but
Well,
But
I don't
that was
think
only
it's-
half of what I was trying to say. So
Is there still
all
no
of
audio?
all of those, at least maybe besides Chaos, all of those are hard counters to orcs.
yeah. I see
So
what you're saying.
that's why they're not in there. You don't have very much diversity. You don't have very many guys in the top 8 who orcs thrive against. They're all good at killing orcs.
Right.
So that's why you're not going to see them there. And that was the
Well,
rest of my point.
It could have been to do with the ITC format also. I mean,
Well, I think ITC helps orcs because you can't shoot bottom levels of building.
yeah, but you
infantry.
can't keep an entire. I mean, if you're running squads of 30, it's hard to hide 30 boys
Well, that's fair.
entirely out of sight.
That's fair, but they can't. Do they all have to make it on the piece of terrain?
They
on
just
the
they have
first
to be
level?
out of sight. I mean, they have to be in the ruin. Yeah.
Just on the first level, though, right?
Yeah.
Can some trail off?
Yeah, but then if you can see them trailing off, you
Oh,
can shoot
okay,
them. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. You just can't.
You're
look
only
through the
obscured
ruin
while
and
in
see
the
them.
ruin. I'm
okay,
looking-
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But
What are you looking up?
The LVO final standings.
Does anyone know what the prizes for LVO are?
It's probably
Like what you
probably
get-
pretty nice.
I don't think there's a huge prize for the
Really?
LVO. The winner of the ITC, I think they get like $4,000
That's
for getting the
crazy.
most points. What's that?
That's
How,
I guess-
how many players are at the ITC though?
No, it's like any tournament you guys play in here, you're in the running for that.
Oh, okay.
They take like your top
what
5
does-
scores.
What does the winner of the LVO get? It's gotta
I don't
be
know.
something. It's gotta be something.
They might get $1,000.
That's it.
Dude, it's a different world than what you're
Yeah,
used
no,
to.
that is
Yeah.
that
I'm
is
used
really
to. I'm
crazy.
used
You know,
to
there really
$50,000 tournaments.
there
Now
really
$1 million
isn't-
tournaments.
The winner of the Age of Sigmar at Adepticon, they get a Star Collecting box.
That's it.
What?
It's a different mentality. Like these guys are playing like you're playing obviously to win, but
Well, how often do you hear about the competitive 40K circuit, right? The professional 40K
Well, I
circuit.
don't think
There
there is a
really-
professional.
That's my point. Is I honestly I don't really think I've heard of professional or heard someone called a professional 40K player. Because you
Yeah.
might be right.
Do you
I
think
don't
the
think
game
there's
would,
a lot of money in it.
do you think the game would be better off with or never having it, or if they
I don't think
introduced it, would it? How would
I
it
think a
impact
pro
the game?
circuit might help the
You,
game.
you think so?
I think it might because like
I
if
think
you-
a pro circuit in a popular game always helps.
I thought about it like this. So if you say, okay, you're playing this army for this season, and you can't play anything else. You can play anything in the army, but you can't play like if I'm playing guard for that season, I can't play Eldar, right? I think it's going to help find more issues with given books because you're going to have dedicated. You know what I mean? Because like then when a big FAQ comes out and nerfs something, you have to stick with your army.
I think
Yeah.
it.
You know what I mean? So you have to work around the nerf instead of just jumping ship. Instead of not playing Tyranids anymore after Adepticon, you have to figure out how to make Tyranids work.
That would piss pros off though. No one want to be a pro
I
player.
think it only works. I think it only helps if 40K is directly involved in the tournaments.
Yeah.
I think that's the only.
Well,
time that it really
they
helps.
did announce that the GW organized play is coming back.
Is it really?
Yeah,
So
so-
that would be great.
Like,
I think that
across
would
all
actually
their
help.
games.
they've also been very involved in all of
Well, I'm
these.
talking like direct involvement.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
like,
that's-
like to the level of
That's
Wizards now.
That's what we need
Okay, that's
because
good.
then they can actually actively find the nonsense that goes on in tournaments, and it will
Yeah.
be their own tournaments, their
Yeah.
own organized
Yeah.
Well,
events.
Adepticon and LVO should be the same. Like there should be a.
they take notes from a lot of things that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
And,
that's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
that's why like our last big FAQ was delayed so much because of Adepticon.
That's true,
They
but-
they found like all the they found so many issues. They
How
were
were
like,
they
okay, that's
shocked
gonna
though?
change.
Really?
That's
Hey,
true.
I get it, but
I
hey,
don't-
that's where Rule 3 came from.
I don't think, but with all these given different organizers, I guess, I don't think, because they all use different rules. Like ITC uses different rules than Adepticon, and I don't want GW making rules.
Do they? Doesn't
ITC?
Adepticon use ITC rules?
No.
No?
Adepticon
Oh.
has its own package.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Well, and the same thing with Nova and ETC
yeah,
on the
yeah.
East Coast. Like
Yeah.
those are totally they're not ITC.
Yeah, exactly. So like you have all these,
And then like the London GT and then the Warhammer World Grand Tournaments, they're all different formats.
and
You
then
know
we
what I
can
mean?
actually get some better competitive missions out of 40K as well
Yeah.
from Games Workshop, because the ones we have that come out in chapter approved and stuff aren't bad, but they're not really good for tournaments.
Yeah.
So
Let me,
if they
I-
were,
I like them. I think they're a lot of fun.
yeah, they are a lot of fun.
Let
But
me ask you guys: is there like any notable personas or persons that play certain armies that you guys like follow or know of?
not really.
All right, so that,
Not us because we're not totally involved, but I'm aware of a couple people. Like there's I forget his name, Nick Navati.
Naviati.
What does he do
He
other
won
than play?
last year.
This year, Nick brought orcs to
But
LVO,
does he do-
and he plays. It was either 12th
what does
or
he
16th.
do other than play? Does he like do any like online presence, blogs
They,
or anything?
some of them do, I think.
So that's why I think pro circuits can help a game, because one thing about like pro Magic players is that a lot of people who love Magic watch look for those players and see how well they
Yeah.
did and get their feedback on cards and decks and new things coming out in certain tournaments. And I think when you have personas that the public can look towards for advice and guidance and feedback, it can help the game in a lot of ways. So if there was a pro circuit, I can imagine that happening, and there could be, rather than getting all your information from like Bell of Lost Souls and Spiky Bits, you could
I
have
love how
like
you name the two most clickbaity
yeah.
sources of news. In
But
the
you could
40K.
have people who are actually like a guard player who plays guard and knows
there are different,
intimately writing blogs about it.
There are different YouTube channels and.
But
the problem is
but
it's
the
so
pro
I
but a
think
pro
it's more
circuit makes it.
global than Magic too.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
But a pro circuit makes things like more, I guess, sought after to like look forward to. Like, I suppose like you would be like you guys were all like interested in the LVO. Imagine like a pro circuit where the like throughout like the winter like
no, I agree.
a bunch of tournaments were happening.
I think
like
that
the
there
LVO.
needs to be an organized circuit. The ITC literally stands for Independent Tournament Circuit, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. It's because when we host an ITC event, we have custom Acropolis missions. So you come and win an Acropolis mission, it's not the same as winning the LVO.
Right.
You know, it's just not. And obviously, because we have 8 players and there's 660, it's just different. You know what I mean? Like,
I would love to just go, just to watch.
Well, that's what, and that's pretty much why I say I really wish GW was directly involved in making their own events, tournaments.
Yeah.
Because I think it would help solve a lot of the problems with a lot of the nonsense we see in list creation and a lot of the nonsense we see in.
For them to
And,
have
you
a
know,
front
just-
row seat to the issues.
Exactly, and we could actually get some pretty solid tournament rules made by the guys who make the game.
Yeah.
Like that would be, I think that would really help the game out.
I think
a
that's
lot,
important.
especially competitively.
I think that's important. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I guess Magic's cut and dry with rules, but like like
Yeah, 40K is not. That's
but like the game, like the missions and stuff that like someone could tailor like the ITC, not saying that they would, but like they could like tailor mission types to be better for certain armies.
I
and
actually
not purposely, but it could just be that way.
I
inevitable.
actually had a huge gripe with them last edition when because they would release their own set of erratas for rules, after codexes would drop. If they didn't like how overpowered something was, they would errata it, but they didn't apply it equally. And so they would errata, like they errated a lot of the Tau stuff, which a lot of it was ridiculous, don't get me wrong.
No, my 8th edition?
I'm talking about 7th. I'm talking about last
my bad.
edition.
I was
Because
confused.
ITC was last edition. But this was ITC last edition. But they never errated anything out of the Space Marine Codex. They never errated anything out of there simply because it was too overpowered. Right?
So Eldar didn't get touched.
Yeah, exactly. So there was...
Does that happen still, though?
Huh?
Doesn't that still happen?
I haven't paid attention.
I feel like
so,
it is.
FAQs were
less-
at the
feel like
beginning of
it's
the
less
edition
biased.
were not applied equally for sure.
Well, I'm talking from ITC.
Hey, you know what?
No, ITC was worse.
Say that as much as you want. Your army is still placing first.
That's fine, but you can't tell me that the FAQs and changes were made equally.
Well, I mean, the guard book was. If you left it untouched, it would still be predominantly the most powerful.
But Guard did take a hit for a while.
No, they did, but like the thing
Like
is,
they weren't doing well.
So with that being said, what's different then?
No, I don't.
You
I
know,
don't agree
yeah,
with that. I think people just stopped looking at them to play because they kept getting nerfed. But then, like they've received more buffs, like through chapter approved and all that.
It took
Like,
over a
for
year
this one-
to address some of the Eldar stuff. So like Shining
No,
Spears, it took literally 2 chapter approves to give him a point increase.
But it happened.
Yeah,
But it still happened.
But
he
Guard
was
were-
saying initially.
Sure, not
Like, a lot of people were
initially.
complaining about Eldar for a long
Well,
while after the Codex
It
came out.
was still very early in the edition. I
But
think
Guard
now
got
they've learned to
Guard got
filter.
touched a month after they came out.
Yeah, but I mean,
Continually,
they're
like,
they're supposed
three-
to like there's supposed to be an FAQ 2 weeks after.
You can't say it was ever at any
But
point
it was
equitable.
more than one time. It was I remember it was 3 separate erratas or FAQs.
Well,
to,
they got hit in their
to Guard,
big
whereas
I'm sorry.
Eldar didn't get touched for like 6 months.
right?
Over a year. It was a year. Like
Yeah.
like literally 2
was-
weeks after the Guard Codex
was
came out,
chapter
they were
approved,
nerfing
wasn't
stratagems.
I remember immediately when the Eldar Codex came out, everyone was like, "This FAQ better touch this, and this because this."
And never
is
touched it.
busted."
Never
And
did.
then the FAQ came out, people were upset because they thought it was too busted, and then they continuously got more busted through.
Hey, I
soupy
still
things and-
I still thank God that
They're one of the biggest reasons World War III was a thing, right?
Yeah, it was Dark Reapers, yeah.
Dark Reapers and Flying Hive Tyrants. But I'm
No, that's
still
true.
incredibly
Tyranids.
thankful that
Tyranids
the
were
FAQ for Eldar came out because that's what nerfed Yunari.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that
That's
made
true.
it so you can only activate your soul burst on your turn. You cannot do it on your opponent's turn anymore.
and you can only use it for one unit.
Yeah, and
Didn't that happen?
Oh, hell,
a while
Moonsky was
ago?
doing that wrong. We just played the other day.
Yeah, no,
he was soul
he's-
bursting.
I
on my
was
turn.
trying to before he started doing it, I was trying to make sure he read the FAQs. He never did.
I don't think he knows how it works. 'Cause I asked him, I was like, "Yeah, Soulburst got really nerfed, right?" And he's like, "No, not that bad."
Don't-
I was
No,
like,
he got it
you
pretty
gotta-
bad.
Clearly
You
not
got
that
it pretty
bad. Clearly not
whenever
that bad.
you
It
pick
was
up a new army, you
top
have
2.
to go back and read the FAQs.
Gotta make
because
sure you know how
that's where
Soul
some
Burst
of the
works, how Demonic
8th
Ritual
edition bloat
works.
comes.
It was clearly top. Okay, it was top 2 at the LVO, so it was not nerfed.
Okay, look,
It
was
was
It got
nerfed.
It got nerfed, but like not into oblivion.
no one said that. It was brought into line.
I don't know. I don't know if you honestly with Yunari, I don't know if you can bring him into line.
Can we talk about
I don't.
what was nerfed
really
into
don't-
Oblivion though? Boxwalkers. Like, let's
my
be
God.
honest.
He's actually not wrong. They don't see table anymore.
Ever.
doesn't
Neither do
surprise me.
conscripts.
That doesn't surprise
Yeah,
me.
So,
one of
is that
those,
what we
one of
wanted?
those, one of the top 8 players at the LVO had conscripts.
I don't think so.
I know so. He had
I'd
a
like-
squad of 20 of them. I
I'd
saw
like
them,
to
and I
see
was
the
like,
list. I
someone
don't-
brought conscripts? What the heck?
Well, yeah, dude. If you run,
it actually might have been in the top one, the first list.
No, it wasn't.
Are you sure?
It
Yeah, he
was,
didn't
it
have a
was
single
video. I
conscript.
don't even
Grant.
notice
One of the
conscripts.
lists.
But
Oh,
dude,
you know what?
if you run
I'm
them,
gonna look
if you
it
run
up.
them as Valhalla with what Petrov's MK4,
That's
or
literally
whatever it is,
costing you catechins. There's no reason to not run catechins.
if you want a big blob of something that's harder to remove.
Why would you? You're paying the same points for something that's worse. It makes no sense.
I mean, your goal with them isn't to. It's just to tie stuff up. It's not to do.
You can do that
damage.
with regular guardsmen for the same.
I
for the
not
same
to
points.
not to the same efficiency. When you when you literally have to kill every model and can't rely
You
on
just use 2 command
morale?
points to keep them alive.
Yeah, but that's 2 command points.
Yeah, but Guard doesn't really have a problem with that, right? They get
No,
like
there's no-
80, they get. I think they guaranteed 24 at the beginning of the game.
You can build. I mean, Brandon Grant's list had 12.
Like stock guard.
I see what
stock
you're saying,
guard
like,
list,
you could have-
24
Because
command
he had a
points.
Castellan.
Yeah.
That's 600 points. That's 3 battalions. It's 3 guard battalions.
No, that's 3 brigades.
It's a brigade.
Wow. Yeah, you could probably get a brigade for close to 600 points.
Yeah, that disgusting.
You can't get two.
You know what?
because of
You know what I
rule-
can do in
rule
Death Guard for
30.
brigade? It's about 2,200 points, something like that.
But they're meant to be played differently, right? Like so, like guard. If you don't have a plethora of men, like if you bring one brigade with only 6 squads of infantry, you probably will lose. You know how easy it is to kill 60 guardsmen?
Yeah.
Dakota, tell us.
Well, robots don't struggle with it.
I don't think anything would struggle killing 60.
Well, I mean, still have to have 60 shots.
No, that's not true.
You have to have more
Oh,
than
okay. You
60.
still have to have 45 shots.
Yeah, I mean, or
That
get
all
into
hit, all
melee.
wound, and kill.
Or get into
Wait,
melee.
you have
Or,
to-
Oh, you're talking about morale or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, there's multiple ways to get rid of them. Like,
No, sure,
even if you
sure.
reduce the squad down to 4 guys and they don't run away from morale, like you got 4 guardsmen. You know what I mean? So they need that many. So, the constant cry to make them go to 5 points. I think that'll hurt more than
No, I
intended.
don't think they should go to 5 points, but
Honestly, I think
I
Cultish
don't-
should come down.
yeah.
I
don't, yeah, I,
no,
and I pretty much agree
disagree
with
with that entirely.
You disagree? Cultish should go down?
Yes, I
Why?
also disagree that guardsmen should not be 4. They should be 5.
That's wrong.
I mean, just,
That's wrong, he said.
I mean, you don't play the army. You're wrong.
Neophytes are 5. Why is a neophyte 5 and
I don't
guardsmen's
know.
4?
I didn't write the book, but I do know about the guard book, and they shouldn't be 5 points.
I'm just they won. Literally that model, the guardsman model, because there was so many of them, is what won that game.
No, there was only 80 of them. It wasn't overly spammed. There was
No,
only
I didn't say it was spam. I just said like
So you're advocating, since they won a big tournament with little pea shooters.
I mean they were catechins, right?
Yeah, but they were hardly ever in melee.
Right,
So their
right,
strength
but
4 was irrelevant.
All I'm saying is that the horde aspect of 8th edition needs to be dealt with. It needs to be.
Yeah. I don't
And
disagree
sure,
with that.
and sure that they only brought 80 in that list. I've seen lists with over 200.
I think high points
that's a
will kill
problem.
that, because if you see 6 points for Poxwalkers, make them unplayable. So
I agree. It makes them unplayable.
Did they go up to 6?
no, they were 6 before.
It was just
and
the
rules.
reinforcement points that destroyed them.
To
Well,
be
the-
fair,
the
the
thing
rules
is-
were fixed in a way they should have been, but they shouldn't be as many points as they are.
Yeah, I think
really
I
don't-
agree with
really
that
don't-
completely.
I really don't see an issue with them being able to like gain models. Like I don't see it being a problem.
It was the
problem is
friendly
that
model thing.
Everything else costed reinforcement points. Same thing with Tide of Traders. Like the fact that never had reinforcement points when the equivalent in the guard book did.
I mean,
it's like, come on.
It wasn't the equivalent because the unit.
You're right, it
it's
was
not-
better.
it's
It was
not-
better in
No,
every
no,
way.
but it's not bringing it back to life. It's restoring models, but
What the hell is the difference in that?
No,
Yeah, I mean,
the difference is if the unit died, it was gone. You couldn't do anything.
Well, in
you
the
couldn't
guard
just
one, the
get it
unit
back.
had to die. So you're just like, okay.
Let's be
well,
fair too. The reinforcement points are just dumb.
They are
No,
dumb.
they
Like,
Summoning
are.
this edition is
That,
dumb.
that is not an adequate fix to anything. Just because the
Well, they
mechanic
got rid of it.
itself
They
is
got rid of it in
pointless.
Sigmar with second
Yeah.
edition.
I
So
know.
As they should.
No,
I think
I'm okay with-
demonic rituals is way worse than in 8th than it was in 7th.
I'm okay with cultists going back to 4 points a model if they cost 5 points a model when you get up to the large unit sizes.
Now,
I
see,
think
and
that's irrelevant.
That's actually something I've actually explored with. What about spamming costs? What about spamming taxes?
Yeah, like
it's more bookkeeping.
I don't care. I don't care
might
if it's more bookkeeping.
It
It's
might
fair.
not have to be that hard though. Like simply
Dude,
the cost
in
of stuff increasing just based
in
on how many units you
in
have.
Sigmar, there's tons of units
Hey,
where
what's a-
their
what's a-
cost
what's
per
a-
model actually
what's a
goes
Sigmar?
down.
No, that's not what I was
for
going to say.
massive
But
regiments.
When
I like
you
your question.
when you take large units, your cost per model actually decreases.
For some, because they're
For
encouraging
some-
you to take
yeah,
large
well,
units.
in 40K, why not just make it the opposite?
I don't
make your for
I don't
some
think,
for
I think
certain
you're
things make it
overvaluing
increase.
hordes. Like
I'm
like-
not. They're like they've throughout the entirety of 8th edition, or after the flyer spam was killed. You know, like where people were running 8 Storm Ravens. Like after that, ever since then, in fact, hordes have been the king of the table.
that's not true. Knights ran the gauntlet for a while there,
Yeah, for a little while.
and they probably still could really.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're not bad.
For somebody that can
It's just
literally
now they have
kill
to be
120 infantry models a turn.
You're talking about one unit, just the robots.
That's what I'm saying.
Holy
so the rest
crap.
the rest of your army can do whatever it wants. So like I don't.
No. You're not.
You're just talking about the
No.
one
No.
small inkling of my army that
No,
can kill
I'm not
all
talking
hordes.
about my army. I'm talking about the entirety of Warhammer 40K.
Oh.
You want to pit all of that up against one model?
Okay, I don't see orcs having any issue removing hordes.
Because they
they're a
have just
horde.
as many hordes.
Okay, I don't see.
'Cause they
do
have-
Tyranids struggle
they
with
have-
hordes?
Depends on how you build them. But
But
they again they're
Right, they can
not
be-
good unless you build them as a horde.
Then that's fair. And that-
Hordes don't have a problem dealing with hordes. That's literally like you need a bullet for every body. They've got a body with a gun in their hand. Like
But
like-
it's not just bullets either. So like you can charge these screening units and remove them. Like,
which is exactly why orcs have no trouble. A boy gets 4 attacks.
Joel
Yeah,
says
so-
Joel,
What?
Joel, I don't know why
Never
Joel is.
knew that.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
it's
Joel
dumb.
is
4
like,
attack? Why?
per boy. You can take him in 30-man units.
Okay, so Joel just sent a message.
You think that's
What's
going to
he
have
say?
trouble dealing with hordes?
He sent a message to us personally rather than like using the chat, but he says he does not think hordes are an issue in a volume of fire edition.
Let's also talk about Joel, who runs a ridiculous number of shots in any.
I don't-
play.
I don't want you to talk about ridiculous amounts of
hey,
shots.
we can.
He
well,
runs
let's
literally
address it.
almost 2.5 times what I do.
Let's
Mine's
address
just stronger.
ridiculous amount of shots because they literally had to change how bolters work for Space Marines just so they could have more shots.
Have a chance
Yeah.
against hordes.
Like it.
All right.
they still have repulsors and hurricane bolts. Like I don't.
Repulsors are still going to be over 300 points.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real honest, man. I have a really hard time feeling sorry for Space Marines, knowing that they're going to be fixed sooner or later, and be right
Okay,
back to the top.
You hope. I hope.
I don't necessarily
I'm-
hope. I'm okay exploring different categories.
I'm not okay with them being bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I'm not
Space
okay.
Marine chapters
I
are
am.
literally in
I
the
am.
bottom
I mean,
rung
they're-
of the game right now.
Let other things have their time in the sun.
It's not about having time in the sun. It's about creating a balanced game, and they're not balanced.
But they've never been balanced, though.
But should Space
Yeah, but
Marines,
now
but
they're-
should
they weren't
Space Marines have a
No,
more?
they
should
weren't.
Space
They were
Marines have
good.
a higher priority to fix the balance than, like, let's say, Necrons?
Not necessarily, but I would almost put
I don't-
Necrons higher than Space Marines in some categories.
In
right?
some-
The-
in some
I would really
categories.
wish I could find the
I think-
LVO standings.
I think Necrons are actually a better monocodex than Space Marines.
Which why is it so
No,
hard to
my
find?
point is
I
like-
can't
standings?
find it.
I don't know. It's really annoying.
Well, my point was like when
looking.
the game
The
is
beast-
unbalanced and Space Marines are at the bottom, does that make it a higher priority to fix than if Necrons are at the bottom?
What do you got,
not,
Tony?
Not to say
Tony
anything.
says he might have them.
Well, they're not formatted in a very easy way
that's,
to read.
that's typical from.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Does it list the factions of the top 50, top 25?
I've got the top 10 here, and
That's weird.
I can look at each person, and I can tell you which factions they played.
But so it doesn't list 1 through 10 with their faction.
Jason said he wants
I
you
have
to
to
paint
click
your
on the
minis.
person, and then I can see.
He says, "I just
what
want you to paint your
factions they
minis."
played.
Me?
I'm pretty sure he's talking to you. You're the only one that
In,
unpainted models.
in
Unbelievable.
response to, I literally don't have a single painted robot, and they're a staple in every list. And in response to what you said, not that this sounds fair exactly, but they did a poll once where like literally like 6 out of 10 players own a Space Marine army. So, or you know, it might have been even higher than that.
So you're saying if they're at the bottom, then
I'm saying
more
that
players are
Space Marines
less.
are the most popular army in the game. So for them to be on the bottom rung
Are they?
actually is
But
it's a
don't
bad.
think
we've had this
they're on the
we've had this
bottom
conversation
Let
before.
me
though.
finish.
Are they the more?
It's a bad business move on Games
Okay,
Workshop
but
part.
we've had
That's
this
all I'm saying.
we've had this conversation before that. Are they more popular because they're
Chicken or egg,
better?
right?
Like
They haven't
They're
always
always
been
better.
Necrons were incredible in 7th edition. They're
Right,
absolutely
but
amazing.
Well,
that
I'm
doesn't
saying
mean
is that
that
they're-
Marines were by no means bad.
I never said they were.
well,
I love
my point
my
is
Space Marines
that
last
is that
edition.
are they the most popular because
This edition I
they're
can't
the
stand to
most,
play them.
Well, my point was, but they were really good initially, right?
Oh, them being popular,
in
them
8th
being
edition?
popular doesn't necessarily relate to their them being competitive. Take Primaris Marines. for
Yeah.
No,
instance.
no,
they're really popular. They're not.
But they're
they're
bad.
non-existent in the competitive meta.
Yeah.
I guess
they're really popular because they make a lot of models for them.
Well,
That's why.
I'm curious what you guys
I'm
were.
saying that the Space Marines are popular because they're pushed by GW.
Yeah, in a way,
Well,
it's like
they
a
also
poster child.
they also
yeah.
have awesome.
Well, no,
fluff.
hang on, I'm-
like their lore
Well,
is really cool.
That's
But like
debatable.
other
By
armies could
literally
be
only you.
awesome.
other
fluff.
populars could gain popularity by being.
It's cool.
It's
It's
cool. It's fun.
So
yeah,
my
it's
point
anything.
was my point was
We
other
were
armies
super
could get
soldiers
could
with no
raise.
weaknesses.
Let me talk. It's
Would
They-
you think that's cool fluff?
That's
Wait,
you're hyperbolizing the fluff. They
something-
have a huge weakness. That's why the horse heresy happened.
Something with nothing to with no fear and nothing to lose. How interesting is that as a story, Tony?
Are you talking about John?
So you fear nothing, and you've got nothing to lose.
talking about Jon Snow?
Or Joker.
you're oversimplifying
Joker
it.
was fascinating to watch,
They're cool.
so there's
okay.
that.
No,
These-
that's fair.
I mean,
but,
that's like the best example of it, or like the most.
Okay, so my point.
They're not Superman.
My point was is that
they
could,
they can die. They die all the time.
Sure.
could
they
other
can-
armies
they're mortal.
gain popularity when they have their time in the sun, like Tim was saying? Like, there's other armies doing very well. Could they gain popularity,
I think,
and
I
therefore
think
they
armies,
could sell more models of those?
I think armies gain popularity through fluff and aesthetic.
I think
That's-
aesthetic is
that-
a big part.
That's where I think armies gain.
I think their range is very
popularity.
important also. So like you have a limited
Yeah.
range of something else, and then you have an unlimited range for Space Marines. Of course, the Space Marines are going to
Yeah.
be more popular.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier, which is one of the reasons they're so popular, just because they
because
have
they
so
have
much stuff.
so much stuff, and
They
then
have
you
so much
have
stuff.
different flavors of Marines. You know what I mean?
However,
It's already 10
Chaos Marines are pretty popular, and they don't have a whole lot. So
I mean, they don't have a small range.
I want to know.
It's
I want to
kinda
go back
small.
to you guys are championing for Space Marines. Where was this fervor to bring things back in line when there were 4 guard players at the LVO?
what are you talking about?
I don't know.
A couple years ago, 4 people showed up to play guard when it was still 7th edition. And there was no outcry about how they needed to be brought up.
No
I'm
one
pretty sure
cares
me and
about-
Dakota. I'm pretty sure me and Dakota had said multiple times that guards should be better. I don't know what.
I
we
don't remember
know.
this type of response.
I
when-
we didn't have a podcast back then.
I always told
Yeah, right.
you. I always told you that I hate playing against guard. They were just an unfun army to play against in 7th. Which is like really the only thing against that. But I mean, Brad and I also play Space Marines. We have Space Marine collections.
Right,
So
but-
like naturally, I'm gonna be like, hey, I would really like to play.
so
with
there's
this.
a bias then.
well,
So it's
there's-
not about the true health of the game.
You're
It's about
you're probably biased.
Well,
against
it-
guard
sure.
guard.
I
Yeah,
think
sure.
it's-
I wanted my army to be better.
So you think the game is healthier when a faction is nearly unplayable?
No.
because of how
No,
ineffective it is by comparison.
I'm not sure how you got that.
Well, then what are you saying?
I'm saying that you guys were you guys were totally fine with
you're
4
just-
guard
you're-
players
you're
at the
assu-
LVO.
You're assuming.
So, anyways, guys, you guys excited to watch any movies coming out in the near future?
No, I don't think
I'm
so.
excited.
Avengers Endgame, I
this
think,
gonna
is
be
the only.
I like the horror remakes this year. I'm excited for those.
Oh,
I'm
man.
excited.
I didn't even know there
I'm
were any
probably
coming.
the only one, but I'm excited for It Chapter 2.
I'm excited for It Chapter
Oh,
2.
this year?
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
it should be. Yeah.
I'm excited for
good.
The
Pet-
first
stupid.
one was so disappointing.
What?
You're
It was
disappointed.
You are
disappointing.
you are wrong. You're wrong.
It was a good movie.
The first it was or the,
They
the
they
It remake
beat it
was
by
so
just
good.
they're like we're not scared anymore. We're literally in the scariest
That's the
situation.
story.
It's dumb.
Oh my god.
He
Okay.
eats a little kid, and then all of a sudden they go to the scariest place imaginable for a
It's about
14-year-old
overcoming
kid.
your fears. It's a very good story trope.
Did you read the book, Jake? You know how they really overcame it? You know how they got out of that sewer?
We're not talking about the book.
You know how they got out of the sewer?
I won't talk about it.
I have no idea.
Fair enough. We're not gonna. It's just a
I-
family
I-
show. We
I
can't say
I
it.
refuse
So okay,
to
okay.
do
I,
anything.
I am excited for
with
It
this
Chapter
movie.
2. I'm excited for Pet Cemetery. I'm excited for Child's
I
Play.
haven't seen Pet Cemetery,
They're
the trailer
doing
for
a
it yet.
child
Apparently
play
it's creepy.
remake.
Yeah,
Yep.
I want to. I need to. That's one
What
of the.
can
just
anyone
Okay,
tell me what
okay.
happened to original ideas?
I think we're in the golden age of
Only wrong.
remakes. I think we are in the golden age of remakes. We have Lion King
I'm
coming
not-
That's yet
out.
to
We
be
have
seen,
Aladdin coming out.
I would agree with you that
Um,
we're in an age of remakes.
No, we're in the golden
It's-
age of
its
remakes. We've been in
color
the,
is yet to
we've
be
been in
determined.
the age of remakes for the last 20 years. We're in the finally the golden age of remakes.
Did
where
you see
good remakes are coming
Independence
out?
Day Resurgence?
That's not a remake. That was a sequel.
Well, okay, it was drudging up an old dead idea. It was literally maybe the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was very bad.
It was horrendous.
Yeah.
I really hope you're talking about the second Independence Day movie.
The second
Yes.
Independence Day.
Okay,
it
good,
was
because
so
I loved the
bad.
first Independence
The first
Day
one was
movie.
good.
Okay, good.
Okay,
I love the first
Woo,
one.
we were
the
about to
second one
fight.
was so
Let's
bad.
try to ignore the blaring story gaps, but yeah, it was an all right movie.
The first one?
The first one.
Come on, the first one was
the first
good.
one was
Yeah,
awesome.
the
was
the
awesome.
first one was great.
First one
Let's
was
let's
awesome.
all talk about how freaking what was his name? Freaking
Talking about Jeff Goldblum's character.
Jeff Goldblum. How does he develop a computer virus for an alien civilization?
This
in
is
the
coming from the
90s.
guy who said that Space
Anyone.
Marine Fluff was fantastic.
Listen, man.
I said it's cool. It is cool.
Jeff Goldblum is just an amazing person. Don't you dare
Yeah, don't you
question the stuff he does.
Don't
All right,
you-
guys. I need
he
you
turned
to,
himself
I need
into
you
a
to
fly.
I need you to take this
is a
thing, this
screaming
USB,
episode.
and go plug it in to the alien spacecraft. Hopefully, they have a port.
You better watch your mouth, or he's going to give you a computer virus.
You've got to kill their feeds. All right, guys, that we literally are over on the show. We've got to go. We'll talk next week about Wrath and Glory. Maybe more Gene Stealer Cult.
and more remakes.
And by then, I will have hopefully gotten my first game in.
All right, guys, we love you. Bye.
Later.
Bye.